Detective, starring Roscoe Karns as Rocky King, Chief of Homicide of a Metropolitan Police Force, in an exciting fight against crime. Brought to you by Clorettes, the delicious chlorophyll chewing gum that makes breath kissing sweet in seconds, and Geritol, the remarkable fast-acting tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. If you feel tired and run down, remember your weak run-down condition may come from undernourished blood. Doctors call it iron deficiency anemia. We call it tired blood. To feel stronger fast, take Geritol, the high-potency tonic that begins to strengthen iron-poor, tired blood in just 24 hours. Yes, in only 1 day, Geritol iron is in your bloodstream, carrying strength and energy to every part of your body. Just 2 tablespoons, just this little bit, contains twice the iron in a pound of calf's liver. Tastes good, too. Now, here's a letter from Miss Betty Madura of North Brookfield, Massachusetts, who obviously had tired blood. I had no pickup in my speed at my job and felt tired and worn out. I decided to try Geritol. I felt better, and that tired, worn-out feeling was gone, thanks to Geritol. So if you're feeling weak and run down because of tired blood, get Geritol, liquid or tablets at your drugstore, but be sure you get Geritol. Geritol. Believe me, you will feel stronger fast within 7 days or your money back. Now, Rocky King Detective and In the Bag.
How am I doing, Doc?
Well, I won't say you're in perfect shape. As far as I'm concerned, I see no reason why you can't leave the hospital sometime tomorrow. I'll talk to Dr. Mitchell and see if he agrees with me.
Oh, great. Best news I've had all week.
I'd better take off now, Mr. Romilly. I'll get these things cleaned and bring you a fresh change tomorrow.
Fine, George. Better leave that bag here. You find something else at the apartment to bring the clothes in.
Oh, yes, surely. Is there anything else I can do before I go?
Yes, you'll run the same ad in the paper for another week.
Right. I'll check with you tomorrow.
See you in the morning, sir. Coming, Miss Thomas?
Yes, Doctor. Get a good night's rest, Mr. Romilly. We want to send you out of here as fit as a fiddle.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
What's the big mystery about that traveling bag in Romilly's closet?
Oh, I haven't asked. One thing I learned around here was to mind my own business.
Good girl. Maybe I should learn. But tell me, what time do you get off tonight?
9 o'clock.
Same for me. How about having a sandwich and a cup of coffee with me at Charlie's place? We can mull over the day's problem.
Oh, love to, Brad. What time is it now?
7:20.
7:20. Oh, golly, I gotta catch a staff meeting. See you later.
Mr. Romilly, I think it's best you get back in bed and try to get some sleep if you want to leave here tomorrow.
Oh, surely, Doctor. Surely.
Dr. Mitchell, you'd better come quickly. The heart case in 211. I think he's had an attack.
Bring that bottle of adrenaline and syringe, and quickly.
Too late? why he didn't call or ring for me. He should have used the buzzer.
Where is the buzzer? Was it taped to the bedpost as it should have been?
Yes, sir. How do you suppose the phone got on the floor?
I don't know. He certainly couldn't have used it where it is now.
Maybe somebody didn't want him to.
Strange. We'd better notify the police right now.
What's wrong?
Mr. Romley's dead.
Would you like another piece of pie, Detective Sergeant Hart?
No, thanks, Aunt Mabel. I'm full right up to here.
Say, that Detective Sergeant Hart sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Sure it does. Whoa, was that last examination tough?
Oh, I remember when the inspector passed his examinations. He became so excited, he let the moths fly out of his pocketbook, and he took a trip to Niagara Falls. It was all there then.
What do you mean it was all there then?
Oh, haven't you been reading the papers lately?
Well, maybe he missed it. He's not as interested in Niagara Falls as you are. Besides, he's been doing a lot of studying.
What happened?
Well, part of it...
Let me tell him. I haven't done very much talking tonight anyway.
You mean some of the rocks on the side fell off?
Just 185 tons of them, and they fell 170 feet into the gorge.
That happened once before, didn't it?
Yeah, 1931, but there's still plenty there.
But that part of Prospect Point where we were sitting is all gone.
How do you know?
Because I recognized the picture of the tree that they had in the newspapers, the one you put our initials on.
It's been 15 years since you saw that tree.
Was this on your honeymoon?
No, wooden anniversary. So isn't that a ridiculous statement? Trees grow a little bit in 15 years, you know.
Maybe trees do, but you haven't.
Says you.
Says me.
Was this on your second honeymoon?
Yes, and don't pay any attention to him. He forgets that he's ever been anything else besides a machine. You want to hear about it, don't you?
Oh, certainly. I've never been there.
Then where was I before I was so rudely interrupted?
We were sitting on a bench under a tree.
Oh, yes. Well, we'd been sitting there for hours, and when we decided to leave to go to our hotel, the inspector said to me, "Just one more kiss, Mabel." And when he did, he said, "Remember this, I love you till Niagara Falls."
Very nice.
Yeah, but believe it or not, Hart, it took 15 years, but that's what caused the slide. Hello, Inspector King. Yes, Lieutenant Rosen. What? Where are you? West Side Hospital? What happened?
Plan to get an early start in the morning?
I suppose so.
Uh-huh.
We probably want to leave around 4 o'clock. He always likes to sneak
Yeah,
up
I
on
see.
things.
Well, I hope you both have a very good time.
Well, that does sound peculiar, doesn't it? The first thing you have to say was somebody on the inside. Well, tell Dr. Mitchell I'll meet him right in his office. Yeah, we'll be right there.
What's that?
Well, Lieutenant Rosen got a call from the West Side Hospital. A man by the name of Romley died about 8:15, I think it was. This Dr. Mitchell runs the hospital. Seems to think something's wrong because he believes that the patient is well enough to leave there tomorrow.
What was he, a heart case?
Yeah. Another thing, the buzzer that's usually taped to the bedpost is on the floor besides the telephone.
Well, it's a cinch the sick man didn't put him there.
No, he didn't, so let's get out there.
Aren't you going to get any sleep at all tonight?
I don't think this will take too long. Besides, I got 3 weeks to do nothing else. Oh, boy, I can't realize my vacation is here. I'll get the car out of the garage.
Right.
So long, Niagara.
There goes a real nice man.
I know, and I wouldn't trade him for anybody in the world. He thinks an awful lot of you, too.
Well, I'm glad he does. Look, these little flare-ups you two have, they don't mean a thing, do they?
No, that's been going on for years. Ours is a solid marriage. I like the flare-up. It relieves the monotony.
Well, look, if the same thing ever happens to me, I'll remember it. So long, Aunt Mabel, and have a wonderful vacation.
What an awful thing. If I just could have been out in the hall at the time, I might have heard him.
Blaming yourself isn't going to help any.
I know. I think I'll take his bag and put it in my locker for a while.
Wait a minute. Why do that? You know the police are sure to ask questions about it.
Brad, I didn't tell you before, but Mr. Romley asked me to take care of this bag if anything happened to him while he was in the hospital. He was very nice to me. I'd appreciate it if you didn't say anything.
Charlotte,
Well, the receptionist that we talked to wasn't any help.
Look, what was the name of that nurse who was with Dr. Mitchell when he was found?
Charlotte Thomas. She's supposed to be in his room now.
Well, there's Dr. Mitchell's office. His room's 211. This is it.
All right, let's go. How do you do, you Miss Thomas?
Well, yes.
I'm Inspector King, Police Department. Is that your bag?
Why, no, it isn't. It's Mr. Romley's. I'm going to take it down the safe.
Well, I'll take care of it if you don't mind. You see, it's customary in cases of this kind. Would you mind going back in the room, please? I'm sure you can answer a lot of questions for me. Art, let's see. I think that's a closet over there. Put it over there, will you? Miss Thomas, who's this gentleman here?
I'm Dr. Cook, sir. I was on the case along with Dr. Mitchell.
I see. When's the last time you saw Mr. Romley alive?
I examined him around 7 o'clock this evening. He'd improved a great deal during the past week. As a matter of fact, we were planning to discharge him tomorrow morning.
I see. And when you did this examination, were you alone?
No, Miss Thomas was here. Also Mr. Pritchard.
Mr. Pritchard. Oh, yes, of course. He's Mr. Romley's secretary, isn't he?
That's right.
Dr. Mitchell gave me the information. We tried to reach Mr. Pritchard at his home, but he wasn't there. Come here just 1 second.
Yes?
Doctor, what are these white stains or...
Yes?
Or grains here around his mouth, you know?
It's hard to tell. Possible that it might be part of a sedative that hadn't dissolved, or...
Yes, that's right. I gave him a sedative just after I got back from my staff meeting, about, 7:45.
And at that time, was this buzzer taped to the bedpost?
Well, it must have been. He rang for me.
I see. And when you gave him the sedative, did you give him a drink out of this pitcher here?
Yes, I did.
Uh-huh. It's empty now.
What are you suggesting, Inspector?
That he might have been poisoned. Of course, being a doctor, you know that I'll find out as soon as the autopsy is performed.
If you feel tired and run down, remember your weak rundown condition may come from undernourished blood. Now, doctors call it iron deficiency anemia. We call it tired blood. To feel stronger fast, take Geritol, the high-potency tonic that begins to strengthen iron-poor, tired blood in just 24 hours. Yes, in only 1 day, Geritol iron is in your bloodstream, carrying strength and energy to every part of your body. Or just 2 tablespoons, just this little bit, contains twice the iron in a pound of calf's liver. Tastes good, too. Now, listen to this letter from Mrs. N.A. Rogers of Webster, Massachusetts, who obviously had tired blood. I have been thinking for some time that I should write you about the wonderful results I have found by taking Geritol. I feel so much stronger. My husband says I seem like a different woman. I shall continue with Geritol for a long time to come. So if you're feeling weak and run down because of tired blood, get Geritol, liquid or tablets at your drugstore. But be sure you get Geritol, Geritol. Believe me, you will feel stronger fast within 7 days or your money back.
Well, it looks like our 9 o'clock date for coffee will have to be temporarily postponed.
Oh, Dr. Mitchell was very cooperative. He and our medical examiner are going to perform the autopsy right now.
I see. Did you send the water pitcher to the lab?
Yeah, they're going to run a test on it.
All right, call us this Pritchard again. He might be home by now. Miss Thomas, what do you know about this advertisement here that Mr. Romley drew a circle around? It says, Laura called Brighton 31107. It's very important to you. Jimmy R.
Jimmy R. That's Romley, isn't it?
Yes. You see, Inspector, Mr. Romley had been placing these ads in the personal column in hopes of locating his wife. That's the Laura he refers to. He didn't know where she was, and he was using this way of trying to find her as a last resort.
Sounds like Mr. Romley told you a great deal about himself.
Yes, he did.
Uh-huh. Dr. Cook, how easy would it be for somebody to get in this hospital after visiting hours?
Legitimately, I'm afraid it would be pretty difficult.
Would they stop you downstairs at the front door?
Not necessarily, but you would be stopped from entering a sick room. There's usually a receptionist on duty.
Well, I haven't seen one yet, but they do leave their desks at times, huh?
Yes, there aren't any strict regulations against that.
Let me,
Besides, the general public knows the rules of the hospital pretty well.
I see. What about this door here, this emergency exit?
It only opens from the inside. This is done to prevent what I imagine you're talking about.
I understand.
Pritchard still hasn't come home yet, sir.
Huh? He hasn't, huh? Well, we'll find him sooner or later, I'm sure. Art, something here that interests me very much. I suggest you people stay here until I come back. Come on, Art.
Where are we going?
Check on a phone number. Let's see. It's Brighton 31107.
Oh, I think you'll find that number is listed under John Roach at 749 Kobe Lane.
Yeah, hello, Carl, George. Yes. Now they're letting Jimmy out of the hospital tomorrow. Yes, he seems to be okay. Now listen, he wanted me to tell you to get rid of the rest of the stable. Now get as much as you can for it, but don't make a big thing out of it. Right. I'll see you. You're right.
Hi. Dr. Mitchell and the medical examiner are still working on the autopsy.
Fred, I haven't told you the whole truth about the traveling bag in Mr. Romney's room. I mean about what's in it.
Really? What is in it, Charlie?
Money. A great deal of money.
Huh?
Almost $100,000.
What?
Did you get the key from the super?
Yeah.
Look, I meant to ask you before. Did you get a chance to see what was inside the Romley's traveling bag?
No, it was locked. We'll do that when we get back.
And you think somebody got in the hospital through that emergency door?
I didn't make it that definite. I simply said I saw a door stop that could have been used to fix the emergency door so he could have come in. And the door stop certainly wasn't where it belonged. That's why I didn't touch it. All right, see if you can find the lights. Well, looks like somebody got here before we did. Shut the door, Hart, and lock it.
Right.
John Roach, J.R. Now I know what that girl's talking about. It's an alias for James Romley.
Here's another J.R., Judd Richards. Something to do with the sale of a nightclub in Miami.
Nightclub, huh? He also had a stable of horses. Here's a file on that.
What's the reason for all these aliases?
Well, I don't know, but when we find that out, Hart, might find the reason he was killed.
We still don't know whether he was poisoned or not.
That's right, we don't. That is not for sure, but we will when we get the autopsy report. Here's several bank books, all in different names. Each one has a $25 balance.
Any withdrawals?
Yes, plenty. Almost $100,000.
You mean within the last month?
I mean within the last 2 weeks, so where's the money?
Why would he leave $25 in each account?
Just to keep it open, I suppose.
Did you say he was trying to locate his wife?
That's what the girl, Miss Thomas, said.
Hey, here's something.
What is it?
Keys and a checklist.
Checklist. Suppose the keys are numbered, aren't they, huh? Well, what do they belong to? Plot the left part.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
But ask you the same question. We're police officers. Who are you?
I'm George Pritchard, Mr. Romilly's secretary.
Well, we've been looking for you. How'd you get in here? The door was locked.
I have a key.
Duplicate of one of these, maybe?
I suppose so. But what is this all about? How did this place get so upset?
That's what we're trying to find out. When did you see Mr. Romley last?
Earlier this evening at the hospital there. They're letting him out tomorrow.
And you don't know what's happened?
No, and I have no idea why you police are so interested in
Mr. Romley is dead.
What?
There's a possibility he was murdered, so what can you tell me about these bank books?
From now on, Joe, to help prevent cavities, brush your teeth after every meal.
But, Doctor, I just don't carry a toothbrush around all day. Most of us don't carry a toothbrush around all day. But in between brushings, you can chew Dentine gum. You should know that in clinical tests in 2 leading dental colleges, it was proved that Dentine removes food particles that even a toothbrush often misses. Thus, Dentine removes many food particles that may breed harmful bacteria. So if you don't carry a toothbrush around with you all day, chew delicious Dentine in between brushings. Dentine is the gum that's especially made to help take care of your teeth. Dentine has proved that it helps keep teeth white and clean to fight tooth decay. And everybody loves Dentine's clean, fresh, long-lasting flavor. Use Dentine, the chewing gum that helps keep teeth white.
Inspector King's got Pritchard in Romley's room. They're trying to unlock his bag with a bunch of keys.
Then I'm going to tell them about the money. They're sure to find out anyway.
But you can't. Well, maybe it isn't true. You didn't actually see it, did you?
Yes, Brad, I did.
Excuse me, Dr. Cook. I think you might be very interested in this autopsy report. It seems that Mr. Romley died of arsenic poisoning. Traces in the pitcher of water. Read it in Dr. Romley's room. I mean, Mr. Romley's room, please. I want to talk to Miss Thomas alone.
Yes, of course.
All right, Art. Put that up here. You have a key for this bag?
No, I don't. It's in the hospital safe along with the rest of Mr. Romney's valuables.
How long has it been there?
Oh, since last week. I checked it for him when he first came in.
All right, get it for me, Hart. Also the rest of his valuables.
Right, sir.
Inspector, there's something I should have told you before, but Mr. Romley swore me to secrecy.
Yes, what is it?
He asked me to take care of that bag if anything happened to him while he was in the hospital. He said it was for his wife, Laura. He said I was to give it to her if she could identify herself.
Isn't it strange that he'd let you do a thing like that? Why didn't he let his secretary, Mr. Pritchard, handle this thing?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't trust him. He showed me something else, too.
Guess what?
I saw $100,000 in cash in that traveling bag.
Did you tell anybody about this?
Yes, Dr. Cook.
You don't keep a secret very well, do you?
I didn't tell him about the money until after Mr. Romley died.
And it should still be in here.
Yes, it should.
I'll answer, please. I made arrangements to take my calls here. Hold it just a minute. Would you, wait out in the hall, please? Hello, Inspector King.
Now, don't blame anybody about my finding you. I knew that you were at the West Side Hospital.
That's all right, dear. What do you want?
To know when you're coming home.
Well, I think in a little while. I believe we have this case pretty well tied up.
Well, would you want to get a little sleep before we start out?
Well, I don't think so. It's nearly 3 o'clock. Just have a good breakfast, and we'll go right away.
Oh, do you want the worms Junior dug yesterday?
Well, not for breakfast.
Oh, there you go again with that wonderful sense of humor. I mean, do you want them to fish with?
Sure. Take everything. Northwoods, here we come. So long, Mabe. I'll see you in a little while.
The rest of the stuff.
Yeah?
On a wallet, wristwatch, and some keys.
Yeah, more keys, huh?
Right.
All right, let's take a chance. Try this small brass one here.
Right.
You can come in right... Come in, Miss Thomas. Well, does it fit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, open it up. You say there was $100,000 in this bag?
Yes.
Less than 1,000 right now.
Someone must have used a duplicate key.
Hey, here's a note inside.
All right, what's it say?
Laura, I want you to have this money. It's a strange way to give it to you, but I'm sure it's the safest way. It's money other people don't know I have. I only hope they can locate you. Signed, Jimmy.
He's wrong, Hart. Somebody did know, and I think I know who. Come on.
I'll tell you one thing. If there was poison in this water pitcher, Jimmy put it there himself.
What do you mean by that?
Jimmy was a sick man, and he knew it, no matter what you doctors told him. I think he committed suicide.
That's a very interesting thought, but it hardly adds quite up. You know anything about $100,000 supposed to be in his traveling bag?
I don't know anything about it.
And you don't know anything about those withdrawals from the bank?
Well, I lied when I told you earlier that I didn't know anything about those, but you had mentioned the possibility of murder, and I didn't want to become involved.
And you do know about the money?
Only in that I was helping Jimmy liquidate his interest during the past few weeks. He never told me what he was doing with the money. I thought he was sending it out of town.
Miss Thomas said she saw the money in the bag.
Well, then why are you questioning me? She probably knows more about the whole thing than anyone.
She only saw it there. You know, the key that opened this bag was in the hospital safe. It had been there quite some time. Perhaps there's a duplicate key. Search him, Hart.
Oh.
Well, the doorstop. Is this what you used to fix the emergency door so you could get in again? You poisoned him, Pritchard, about 7:45. By putting arsenic in this pitcher here. This was before Miss Thomas gave him his sedative. She poured him a drink out of this pitcher. Of course, she didn't know that anything was in it. Now, the reason you did all this, naturally, was to get the money.
You're crazy. If I took it, why would I ramshackle his place to get it, to find it?
To throw us off the track, the same as you tried to do by leaving a few $100s in this bag. You took that buzzer off the bed. You put the telephone on the floor so he couldn't call for help. All right, now where's the duplicate key? I think that's all the confession I need. Now, where's the money?
In my apartment.
We'll have to get it tonight, Hart.
Yes, sir.
Bring him down the car.
Right. Come on.
Oh, Dr. Mitchell, thank you very much for all your cooperation. I'm sure that you're happy to know that none of your people were involved.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So long, folks. I'm going fishing.
Beware of the backward step. It's a warning about your breath.
That's the last thing I'd ever suspect. Why, I brushed my teeth only an hour ago.
But you've eaten since then. Smoked, too. Your breath has changed. It's time to chew Clorettes. Because Clorettes makes your breath kissing sweet in seconds. Clorette's new exclusive formula with Bretson doubles chlorophyll's breath-purifying power. Yes, Clorettes is more effective because it contains more of the vital chlorophyll elements which purify your breath. Clorettes makes your breath kissing sweet even after onions, smoking, or a telltale beverage. And Clorettes are minty, refreshing, all-out delicious. With Clorettes chewing gum or candy mints in your pocket or purse, you're never more than seconds away from kissing sweet breath.
Hello, Mabel. Yes, case closed, and I'm coming home. What, dear? Yes, we got him. No, it wasn't anyone in the hospital, no. You all packed? You are? Uh-huh. Can you take what? The vacuum cleaner. And Junior's bicycle? Well, I know I told you could take it. All right, go ahead. Yes, dear. I'll be right there. Wonderful girl, that Mabel.
Original music composed and played by Jack Ward. Tune in again next week for another exciting adventure of Rocky King Detective, starring Roscoe Karns as Rocky King. Rocky King Detective is brought to you by Clorettes, the delicious chlorophyll chewing gum that makes breath kissing sweet in seconds. And Geritol, the remarkable fast-acting tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. Bob Shepard speaking.
This is the DuMont Television Network.